So, a massive, massive welcome to the Freedom Business Model Masterclass. My name is Christy, and we have the amazing Magdalena joining us, which obviously a lot of you know in the chat box already. And she's really going to be taking us through what this business model is. And I'm going to really just be sharing a couple of points on today's masterclass. But I first of all just really want to share a little bit about my journey and why I'm here talking about, a freedom business model. So I'm guessing, and let me know into the chat box, but I'm guessing why you're here is because you value freedom. Can I get a yes if that is correct? You're on here because you are somebody who values freedom. Freedom is one of your highest values in life, and you are looking for a model or a way to create an income and a way of life that actually supports you to live free with time freedom, financial freedom, and location freedom. Am I correct? Is that why you are here today? Hell yes. Yes, 100%. Got it. So I was very much like where you are at 5.5 years ago, and I valued very much freedom, and yet I didn't have freedom. I didn't have financial freedom. I didn't have time freedom. I was a struggling entrepreneur. Basically, to kind of keep this story short, 10 years ago, I left my corporate job. I had gone to school and got the good grades, gone to university, got the good grades, got my good job, and I was getting paid $65,000 a year. And I was like, I've made it. And I very quickly in that journey realized that that was not my dream path, and that was not going to be the path for me. And how I realized that was because I actually saw something that I couldn't unsee. So basically, I came across a guy who was living in Hawaii. He was from Australia, and he was living the most amazing life. He was doing all these really cool things, and he was getting paid $30,000 to $40,000 a month online. And I was like, hang on, what is this guy doing? How do people make all of this money online and travel and live their life and are location free and literally creating income with their phone and their laptop? And it was this whole new paradigm for me. Like I didn't get it, right? Like, because I was just used to kind of like the corporate way. And I couldn't unsee that. So I kept going to my job, and I was like, hang on a second, something's not right here. I'm getting paid 65 grand a year and I can barely pay my bills, and I'm literally living week to week. I'm just over broke, right? Job just over broke. And this guy's living in Hawaii, traveling the world, doing what he loves, getting paid like more than what a CEO would in a month. I was like, something's not adding up here. I want that life. And so I ended up quitting my job. I literally quit my job. It was not the right timing. It's never the right timing to do anything that's a bit, scary or risky or unknown. But I was willing to take a chance. I was willing to take a chance on my life. And I had no savings. I had no backup plan. And I definitely didn't know how to become an entrepreneur. But I was willing to be courageous, right? And this is part of a trait of a successful person, is the willingness to become courageous and the willingness to make bold decisions and bold moves in our life, even when we're not ready, right? Who's ever ready to have children? We're never ready for that, right? It's crazy. And yet we do it, right? Yet we take the plunge. It's the same when we are making, decisions in our life that are, that do feel a little bit scary, because it is a little bit scary, but it's not as scary as staying the same. And I got to this point where I was like, if I continue to stay here, nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change. I'm going to be exactly the same in 12 months' time. And that wasn't okay for me, because I have this philosophy every day when I wake up, not to sound morbid, but we're dying. We're literally dying. Every day we keep waking up is another day that we're actually dying. We're getting closer to that point of our life. And I was like, I made this commitment that I was going to live, like I was truly going to live, and I was going to really, truly see my full potential. And I was willing to learn the skill sets, to give it a go. And so I quit my job and I became an entrepreneur, as we do, right? And I had no idea what I was doing. And I tried many different business models for around 5 years. So I tried low ticket network marketing where I was selling my supplements and shakes to my friends and family. That kind of business model definitely, promoted the whole freedom lifestyle thing. But the way of marketing, of sending cold DMs to friends and family and selling selling products that I was literally only earning $20 to $50 on, didn't make business sense. I didn't see how I could actually get closer to my goals doing that. And when I worked out how much it would take in order to have a $10,000 month, I realized I would have to be selling about 500 of those products in a month in order to have a $10,000 month. And I was like, that makes literally 0 cents. I don't even know 500 people. Who knows 500 people here, right? It takes a lot of meeting people and a lot of selling in order to sell 500 products in a month. So I was like, no, that's not the path. I thought, oh, I'm going to open up a raw food cafe. And I opened up this cafe, and it was going to be the thing that was going to set me free. And then my staff got paid more than I was. I could barely pay my suppliers. I ended up moving out of my apartment and living in my car and the couch of my cafe. And I was like, okay. And I ended up having a nervous breakdown and stage 5 adrenal fatigue. And I was like, traditional business is not the path for me. It's just not. And so I kind of and I dabbled at a few other things. I had an eBay store, and I actually got scammed over $10,000 by working with some of these manufacturers in China that I was working with. So my first 5 years was very much a lot of challenge and a lot of up and down, right? But I always got myself back up. And that's also a trait of a successful person, is like being willing to really deal with the problems and the challenges that we face. And I kept going. I was like, there's going to be something out there that is literally going to tick all the boxes for me. And I was literally searching for the very thing that I now support people with. It took a few years to find it. I wish I'd found it 10 years ago, but anyway, it's all good. Perfect timing, right? And you guys are literally here finding out about it, and it's your perfect timing. My perfect timing to really understand about this was around 6 years ago. And that was at a time where I was on the struggling entrepreneur hamster wheel, trying all these different business models and seeing what was going to stick, and nothing was sticking. And I was getting by just day by day and putting $5 of fuel in the car and getting eviction notices to get out of our apartment. And I was really sick of it. And I had my final line in the sand moment and my final decision. And it really stemmed from being pregnant and having a baby on the way, and being like, I'm not welcoming our baby into an environment where financial stress is happening. I'm not available for that. I'm going to raise my own standards. And that's what we really need to do when we're leading ourselves in our life, is to be willing to raise our standards when something's not, when our life isn't where we want it to be. So I was ready to raise my standards and no longer tolerate how I had been showing up until that point. And I literally, quite honestly, became a whole new version of myself. And this opportunity fell into my lap, and I ran with it. I was like, this is it. I can see the numbers. I can see the model. I can see that there is nothing else like this out there. This is the model that can get me to where I want to go. I could very clearly see a pathway. And that's why we call it a freedom business model, because it has a very, very clear pathway that if you do this, that it actually is a very real, very legal, very legitimate model that can actually support you to create financial, time, and location freedom within the next 3 to 5 years. And I want to put a disclaimer on that. That may not be what you create, because your results are down to you. For me, it took me 2 years to become fully financially free. So at the age of 31, I went from literally, 29 being broke with a baby on the way. And at 31, I was financially free. And we're going to talk about what that actually means, because right now you're probably like, well, what does that actually mean? Like, what would you even be getting paid if you were financially free? Like, there's questions around that. So we will delve into that. But basically what it meant was that I no longer needed to check my calendar or my bank account in order to say yes to what I wanted to say yes to. And I now live with that full-time location and financial freedom. And I support many people around the world to also do the same. I don't need to work. I do not need to show up. I do not need to run these masterclasses. And I do it from a real place of service and passion now, and impact. And I'm able to generate an income monthly that, if I was to die, would be passed on to my children. So it's a willable asset. And when I saw this, I 100% knew that there was nothing like this anywhere. So you're in a pretty amazing situation today. Welcome to the start of the rest of your life from here. It's a very exciting space to be in. And we have an incredible community. We have an incredible business model. We have an incredible pathway that really can support you with this. And what I'd really love to do now, and I'll come back out in a little bit, but what I would really love to do now is really welcome Magdalena, a very dear friend of mine. She's a digital nomad, lives in Bali. She's like our mermaid goddess from Bali. And yeah, she's just an incredible human being, and has really been able to create a life of freedom for herself, and is very, very deeply passionate about this work. work and about supporting other people to become free, and lives in one of the most incredible exotic places in the world, and really embodies somebody that actually lives with this type of freedom. So I'm going to pass over to Magdalena, and she's going to start to share a little bit about what this model is, and then I'm going to come back real soon. So thank you so much, beautiful.
Thank you so much, Christy. Can everybody hear me and see me? Give me a yes in the comments, in the chat. Thank you so much, Christy. That was so fun to listen to you tell your story again. I never get sick of hearing it. So just a super quick, I know you guys are really here for the business model, not necessarily for my story, but just to give you some context. I found this space just a little over 3 years ago, and I was definitely on the entrepreneurial hamster wheel where I was in Mexico when I found this, and I had just said a prayer to the universe like 2 days before, like, please show me aligned ways to make money, because I was traveling at the time. I was teaching yoga around the world, and it wasn't sustainable. I had tried many things on the entrepreneurial hamster wheel. I had been, my first career as a photographer, then I tried fashion design for a decade, and that's where I got all this beautiful gray hair from the stress of that decade of my life. Then I went into retail. I tried low ticket MLM, selling essential oils. I did my yoga training then and started coaching, and even started trying to do e-courses. And I said, okay, I'm about to go travel the world, and e-courses is going to get me there. And, I'm going to create e-courses and wake up to money in my bank account every day. And it just didn't happen that way. Like, I really threw so much spaghetti against the wall trying to find something that worked. And then there I was in Mexico. It was the end of 2019. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go another decade without having money. And my daughter would, write me. My daughter at the time was 21, and she would say, Mom, I need $50 for groceries. Can you send me some money? And I'd be like, dude, I don't even have groceries for myself. I'm sleeping on my friend's couch. Like, it was embarrassing to be at that age. I was 50. And I was like, how have I not cracked the code to making money yet? Like, this is not okay. It's something needs to shift. So I said a prayer to the universe, and this is what showed up. And wow, I thank myself for having the courage to say yes to investing in myself in this way, my time, my energy, because within 6 months of that day, I said yes. I was living in my dream villa in Bali, and things have not been the same since. I live a total abundance, freedom lifestyle now. I really embody it. And we're going to talk about exactly what that means, but everything has changed. And it's not just the financial freedom that I found here, it's all the freedom. So what I really talk about and promote and support and empower people with is how to live a total freedom lifestyle where we are not sacrificing anything, where you really can have it all. So let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen and this beautiful presentation I have created for you. Voila. So welcome to the Freedom Business Model. This really is your golden ticket to freedom. And as Christy said, this is a very clear pathway, and we're going to show you how to create generational wealth. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. But one of the things that really resonates with me about this is that it is a very clear pathway with a step-by-step system where you just show up and you follow the steps and your results are inevitable. The timeline is different for everyone, but the results are inevitable if you show up and you just follow the guidance that you're given. So let's talk about what that total freedom means and looks like. Total freedom for me is like the four wheels of a car. And what we're introducing you today is a vehicle. So here's the vehicle that I've chosen. I want to drive like a metallic gold car. Does that sound fun? I don't even have a car in Bali, but if I had a car, I think I'd like to have this one. But what do the four wheels of the car mean? Total freedom, right? Time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, and very importantly, inner freedom. Because if we're not enjoying waking up every day to get to work and doing what we're doing, what the hell is the point of it, right? We want to be waking up feeling that we are on purpose, delivering our gifts, doing something that is in alignment with us, not selling our soul for a paycheck, right? So this to me is the total freedom lifestyle, all four wheels of the car. And what we're doing right now is introducing you to this vehicle, to this car, and you're going to have a choice if you choose to get in and drive the car, because that's really all you need to do. We give you the tribe, we give you the roadmap, we give you the tribe that's along for the ride, makes it super fun. And all you need to do is get into the driver's seat and start driving. So let's get to it. This is very, very simplified right here. We're going to dive deeper into all of this. So this is the simple 3-step method to the freedom business model right here, front and center. First thing is you're going to align with a high ticket offer. And that's really important that it's high ticket, because this is how we reach financial freedom, because the low ticket world does not give you financial freedom. Sorry to tell you, but this is a whole conversation in and of itself, what high ticket means, but we're going to explain a little bit more. And also aligning with something that's already done rather than trying to recreate the wheel and create your own. Like when I was doing those e-courses, boy, was that a lot of time and energy to create something that ultimately didn't actually create a profit for me. So aligning with something that's already done is the shortcuts. We're trying to give you the shortcut here. Step number 2 is leveraging social media and automation without selling to friends and family or sending cold DMs. It's not that kind of a business where we're reaching out to people. And we're going to train you and teach you how to do all of this. And you don't have to, be born knowing it. This is a learned skill. And then the third step of it is to receive commission when sales are made. So this is a commission-based model. So let's talk a little bit for a minute about the cash flow quadrant. Drop it in the comments if you are familiar with this, because this is a really important concept for you to understand if your goal is actually financial freedom. And please drop in the comments right now, which of the freedoms that I mentioned is actually the one that you're seeking the most? Is it the time freedom to be with your kids more, or with, do your own self-practice more? Or is it the financial freedom? Is it the time freedom? Is it the location freedom? Do you want to be living in Bali or somewhere else that you choose to be instead of where you are? Or is it the inner freedom where maybe you're coming from the corporate world like Christy was, and, didn't have the inner freedom of feeling that she was on purpose, right? Like doing what she came here to do and making an impact in people's lives. So which is the one, tell me in the comments, which is the one that's most important to you and why you're here? Maybe it's all of them. You can say all of them. It sure was for me. Okay, so let's talk about the cash flow quadrant. And this is, I said, a really important concept for you to understand that if you are on the left side of this quadrant, it's going to be a nearly impossible road for you to achieve financial freedom. But if you're on the right side, you are well on your way. So let's talk about what that means. So you see, we have the employee in the upper left corner of the quadrant. And that means you have a job. You're trading time for money. You really don't have any leverage. So leverage is one of the sexiest words in online business, by the way. So we're going to explain what that means. No time leverage when you are an employee. You're trading time for money. There's a cap to how much money you can make. Then you might be inspired to move down to the lower left side. So becoming self-employed. And that's where you might have a little bit more time freedom because you get to set your own schedule. But somehow this is like, you buy yourself a job, like you own a job, like a lot of my coach friends here in Bali, or people who decide to do like a massage business or even like a private yoga teacher or something. And then you're still trading time for money, and suddenly you find yourself wearing all the hats, and then you don't have the time freedom. So you have the time freedom in that you create your own schedule, but you're working 60, 80 hours a week to do all the things. And, that's where I found myself when I found this model. So when I found this model, it helped me move over to the right side. And so what that means is the upper right quadrant, you become a business owner. And what does that mean? What is the difference between self-employed and being a business owner? So a business owner means that you own a system. And then you have leverage when you have a system, just like a franchise, right? Think of your favorite coffee shop, right? Maybe somebody started with one successful coffee shop, everybody liked it and was like, we should have this everywhere. And suddenly it was everywhere, right? That's a franchise. It's a very similar system that we have. It's just like a franchise where you have a system that you can just tap into, and then you can scale it easily without you being the one that has to do all the work. But in a franchise model, there's already a system that's telling you exactly how to do it. Right. And for those of us who are here, we're probably a little bit more rebellious, right? I don't know, raise your hand if you're also a rebel like I am. And we don't want to be told what to do and how to do things. We want to do it our way, right? That's certainly how I am. I want to do things my way. And with our system, you get to actually put yourself into it and to do it your own way and make up your own rules, but getting all the guidance and support along the way when you have questions. Okay, so then from there, you get your system, cash is flowing, you're scaling, you have leverage, and you're making money. Money's coming in. Suddenly, you got 10K months, 20K months, 50K months, 100K months, like this happens. And then next thing you know, you get to become an investor. You get to take those funds and actually invest them to have even more passive income. And with our model, there actually is passive income as well. So you can actually kind of get into the investor mode when you're still in the business owner quadrant here. So let me know if this is landing. Give me a yes in the comments if this is landing. And if you're understanding, and tell me which part of the quadrant you're in right now. Are you an E? Are you an S? Are you a B? Are you an I? Where are you today? And where do you want to be? So let's talk about the mindset of both sides, right? So the people on the left side tend to be negative, closed-minded, like, oh, I can never make it. I can't do what they're doing. You know, people who keep themselves small, right? Problem focused, always focusing on the negative, easily distracted, shiny object syndrome. Oh, let me try this. Oh, let me try this. Oh, maybe this, let's throw this spaghetti on the wall, you know, easily distracted, listening to the wrong people versus the people who already have the life that they want. So listening to people who don't have the life they want, who are maybe going to poo-poo their ideas and their big dreams, right? Always waiting, just procrastinating, never taking that action. These are the people who stay on the left side. And also the belief and the attitude of, I can't do it. I can't do what they're doing. I can't do that because insert excuse here, right? And also financially uneducated, right, about how money works and how actual wealth creation works. By the way, this model that I'm sharing with you right here, this is from Robert Kiyosaki's book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Please make a note for yourself right now. And if you are not familiar with that book, go read it right now, because it will give you a deeper understanding of what I'm saying and how important this is for you to shift your life to the right side. So the people on the right side tend to be more positive, more open-minded, solution-oriented. They stay focused, like eyes on the prize. Okay, now I have a clear path. I know exactly what to do, one step in front of the other every day. Let's go. Listen to people with results, right? So you can look at me and Christy and go, wow, they have the life I want. They have the results I want. Let me listen to them instead of Uncle Joe, who's still sitting on his couch every night, you know, whoever it is you're listening to. That doesn't have the life that you want, right? These people on the right side are action takers, because if nothing changes, right? So it's about taking aligned action, and that is what is going to actually move you forward. And then that mindset piece is so important of, instead of blocking yourself with the limiting belief of I can't, you move yourself into how can I? It's such a simple little nugget. It's such a simple little shift. So if you're stuck, if you're somebody who's stuck in I can't for whatever reason, insert excuse here, I dare you, I invite you to write a little card that says, how can I? And just put that everywhere. Put it in your purse, put it on your mirror, put it in your car, put it on your pillow, put it everywhere you're going to see it. And then get your mind trained to be in that frequency of how can I? And that's where you get to expand. And then people on this side are more financially literate. They understand how money works, how business works. And the way for you to become financially literate is to start by reading this book that I'm recommending right now. Okay, I'm going to go really fast because I want to make sure we keep this under an hour. And, you know, if you need to watch the replay to get more of the information that I'm sharing, then you'll need to do that. But I'm going to go really fast because I want to really value your time. And if there's a part that you need to rewind and watch later, feel free. Okay. So let's talk about, we talked a little bit about the importance of having a high ticket offer and one that's already established that you can align with, because this is how you get a plug and play system where you just jump right in to something that's already proven and working, and you just get to literally plug into it. So what we're offering you here today is literally like a business in a box. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to recreate the wheel. You don't have to figure it all out yourself. You just plug in and hit the ground running. Okay, so the high ticket offer that we've chosen to partner with is what I call our magical wellness technology. Now, drop it in the comments. Health is wealth. If you understand the importance of health in your life, do you understand that health, for me, freedom is my top value, and then health is right there with it? Because if you don't have health, you actually can't enjoy the wealth that you create, right? So health equals wealth. Without wellness, without wealth, without health, we cannot have true wealth and abundance and a total freedom lifestyle. So drop it in the comments, health equals wealth, if you are in alignment with those ethos right there. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce you to our high ticket offer that we have chosen to partner with. So this is the only high ticket commissions in the direct sale industry. There's a lot of other offers out there that are in the low ticket realm. I wouldn't touch them with a 100-foot pole right now because why hustle when you can flow? So what we're teaching you is how to work less and make more and work smarter rather than working harder. So keep your ears open, keep your mind open, and let's talk about our amazing partner, Enagic. So this is a 49-year-old award-winning Japanese water technology company. They had 17% growth in 2020, guys. As the world was shutting down, this company grew 17% during COVID times, right? Last year, they had $1 billion in sales. This company is exploding. And that's what you want, is to grab onto the coattails of something that's already moving, right? Rather than being in a new startup company where it's like, let's see how this goes, like, let's see. This company has been around for 49 years, almost 50 years. And that's what you want, is something that's tried and true and proven already. And that's what this is. They have global distribution. This is how we get to have a global business, right? I have a tribe, my Happy, Healthy, Wealthy tribe, has members all over the world, which I freaking love, because I want to be a global citizen and I want to know and work with people all over the world and empower people all over the world. Water is a product that people want and need and are buying daily. I like to call it liquid gold, because we've literally figured out how to turn water into money, but in an ethical way, rather than like the plastic bottle industry, also known as plastic or single-use plastic water bottles, right? They're just selling bottles. They're not, don't get me started on that one, but I love that I get to be a part of actually solving the single-use plastic bottle problem by partnering with this company. That's very much in line with my ethos. And obviously everybody needs water, and people are waking up to the fact that they need water. And I think I failed to mention, actually, when I talked about my story, is that one other thing that I did for 7 years actually was health coaching. I actually had an online course called Conscious Eating 101. And I was trying to teach people how to get the proper nutrition. And that whole time I was completely ignorant to the importance of good water. I was like just focused on the food. And now I'm like, oh my God, I totally missed it. But now I get it. Now I'm really passionate about water, because it's a fundamental pillar of health for us to have the best possible water. So this is not just any kind of water. I like to call it magic water, liquid gold, but the scientific name of it is ERW water. So I invite you to make a note of that and to go study it yourself on PubMed or Google Scholar. ERW stands for electrolyzed reduced water. So what is special about this? It's rich in hydrogen, and it helps to nourish and restore the body to its optimum state, right? So we're not going to make medical claims and say this cures cancer, but we are going to tell you that this gets your body into its optimum state so your body can heal itself, because your body is a natural healing machine when it has the right conditions. And that's what this water helps you do. It's super rich in antioxidants, which is the hydrogen part, which is basically, it's like anti-aging, guys. You cut an apple overnight, you put it on the counter overnight, it's going to turn brown, right? That is oxidation. This water is antioxidant heavy, rich, right? It comes out of your tap like a cloud full of hydrogen. This is healing antioxidant power. Very, very powerful. This machine also makes 7 types of water. So it's not just for drinking water, it's also for cooking and cleaning. There's actually over 100 uses for this water in your home. And it creates an eco-friendly, toxic-free sanctuary in your home, which, if you're like me, you actually care about the earth. Raise your hand. Hi, I love the earth. Put it in the comments if you do. Let's have less plastic bottles in the ocean. I go swimming with the manta rays here in Bali, and I see plastic bottles in the ocean, and it makes me crazy. I don't want to be a part of that problem. I want to be a part of the solution, right? Let's care for the earth. Let's be the stewards of the earth, and actually invest in products that help preserve it, right? So you can create this toxic-free sanctuary in your home, because this replaces all your cleaning products, your toothpaste, your laundry detergent, your conditioner for your hair, like over 100 uses. And it's a sustainable zero waste product. It lasts over 20 years. And over the lifetime of that, you get about $100,000 ROI from all the money that you save from all the products that you would have bought. So even if you don't become a partner and actually activate the business model here, you're going to get $100,000 of ROI by investing in one of these for yourself. Triple bottom line. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that. Put a yes in the comments if you know what that means. I'm very passionate about this. My ethos is all about creating a better world, right? And triple bottom line means everybody wins, means nobody's getting exploited. So people, you being the people, the planet, Mama Earth, and our pocketbooks, the profit, they're all equal consideration. So nobody's losing, nobody's getting exploited. These products are made by the company in Japan. They're, by the way, medical device in Japan, used in hospitals there. This is medical grade water that you can take on an airplane. It's freaking incredible. And it's triple bottom line. In fact, the founder, Mr. Oshiro, he has such a beautiful vision and ethos that aligns so much with mine. His goal is actually for people to be happy. And the way that he has found to do that is to solve people's financial problems and to solve people's health problems. Because how much happier are we as people when those two boxes are ticked, right? If you're not waking up in the middle of the night stressed about money like I used to back in the day, before I actually healed my money mindset and found the clear pathway to make money, when we solve that problem and we solve our health issues by getting on the water, then we're naturally happier. And that's his goal. That's his mission with the company. So does that align with you? Does that sound like something that you want to be partnered with and involved with? Put a yes in the comments if that resonates with you. Woo! All right, so I've said everything else here. We're going to move on. One more thing is that this can be sold and shared through attraction marketing or traditional marketing methods. And that's why we say we don't reach out to people. This is not like a situation where you're going to be cold DMing people and reaching out to people. We teach you attraction marketing. So people come to you. So you're not having conversations with people who aren't actually interested in what you have to offer. So let's talk about this package. This is really the fast track package. If you really want to hit the ground running and be serious about building a business here, this is the package that's recommended to start with. So what that looks like is one, the K8 water machine. We love the K8 because it has an internal conversion, meaning converter for the power, which means you can take it anywhere in the world and plug it in without a big converter box. So this is really important. The K8 is great. She talks to you, she speaks a bunch of languages. She's amazing. Some people call her Kate. K8, Kate, get it? You can name your machine. You're going to get very close. So you start with a K8, and then actually you're going to get a second K8 because that's going to be a loaner that you're going to be able to loan out to people who are interested in trying this water for themselves. You know, it's understandable. A lot of people want to try it before they buy it. And that's like becomes an additional revenue stream for you right there. About 80% of the people that get a loaner machine end up buying their own, because once you get in the water, you don't want to get off the water. You become a water snob pretty quickly once you get on this and you see, you know, what happens in your body. And yeah, so having an additional loaner machine is really helpful. And then the package also includes, there's another product by this incredible company that we call the Anespa. It's a mineral spa shower. So that filters the chlorine out, because I don't know if you're aware, but in a 20-minute shower, you're absorbing about a liter of water. And if that's chlorine heavy water, that's actually quite detrimental to your health. So it takes out the chlorine and it adds these patented minerals from this mine in Japan that Enagic has the exclusive rights to. And it's amazing for the hair and the skin. And if you got little ones at home, you know, we don't want to be bathing them in chlorinated water, right? Let's give them the best water. And then we have an incredible turmeric supplement as well, which is the best one on the market. It has patented packaging that makes it super fresh. And if you're not familiar with turmeric and the benefits of turmeric, it's very high anti-inflammatory. And if anybody has any autoimmune stuff, you know, there's a lot of inflammation involved in that. In fact, inflammation is the root cause of many diseases, as is acidosis. So this water is also alkalized, which creates an alkaline environment in the body, and no disease can thrive in an alkaline environment. And then we pair that with the Ukon, the turmeric supplement, to help take care of the inflammation as well. And next thing you know, you're the healthiest you've ever been in your whole life. So we really recommend this package because it's the fast track. And here are some of the commissions that you can earn. So it's a patented model. It's like, think of it like a pie, 8 slices of a pie. And each slice of the pie is worth a point. So you can see here some of the points. So the lowest commission you would ever make here is $340. These are US numbers, by the way, US dollars. The lowest commission you would ever make is $340. So if anybody here was ever in like traditional MLM stuff like I was, like oils, I think I made $20 or $30 when somebody joined my business, right? So this is like how many times more than that? And that's just the starting point, right? That's just the starting point. It goes all the way up to here I have in the bottom right corner, if you see that, it's $5,430, $5,430. And that's if you're getting 6 points of the pie. But we actually have a hack where you can get a full 8 points. And that's part of the strategy training that we have for you. So actually these numbers get a lot higher than what you're seeing here, but this is pretty impressive, don't you think? Put it in the comments of like, that sounds good, if you would like to be making these numbers. So we talk about it all the time, 3- and 4-figure commissions. So for example, I was just in India for 2 months at the beginning of this year on a healing journey. I kind of took time off. I was just working from my phone a couple minutes a day. And my first sale that came in on automation paid for more than my trip, like more, including my tickets, my whole healing processes, everything that I did, all my hotels, all my food, everything. In fact, it was almost double of my expenses for that 2-month trip. So it's pretty cool, you know, when you make an 8-point quad sale. We're going to talk a little bit more about what that looks like. And first, before we go any further, I just really want to address this because I know a lot of people get concerned when they start getting introduced to this model, worrying that it's like, oh, this is MLM, right? And MLM gets a bad rap. And I understand why, because there's a lot of aspects to MLM that are not conducive to actually flowing. They really create a hustle culture. And again, why hustle when you can flow? So I just want to highlight a little bit of the difference between traditional MLM and what we're doing in this new paradigm business. We don't have any monthly quotas. You don't lose rank if you don't perform here, which is very typical of MLM, right? If you don't meet this sales quota by this day, you're going to derank. That this business, you only move forward. You never go backwards. We have people who've taken a year off to tend to personal matters and then come back up and pick up where they left off with no penalty. In low ticket stuff, you're somewhere between $20 to maybe $150 a sale. I talk to people, I always ask them when they're in MLM, like, what's the highest, you know, amount you could make? And if you're in that yourself, ask yourself right now, what's the highest commission you could make on a single sale? The highest I've heard from anyone is $115. And I was even generous here when I made this slide. I put it up to 150. Maybe you're in something that's 150 a sale, but how does that compare to $340 up to $6,200 for a single sale, right? So it's like, it's a completely different paradigm. Okay. A lot of the times the MLMs have membership fees and minimums. Like when I was doing the oils, I had to spend $100 a month in order to continue being a distributor and earning money. This doesn't have that. It's just a one-time investment. And then we talked a little bit about low ticket versus high ticket already. It's a game changer. That one detail right there changes the game entirely. Traditional MLM, as far as I know, does not have a legacy income model, whereas we do. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. And it's limitless. We call this infinity money because there's no cap. You can just keep growing and growing and earning more and more. That's really fun. The sky is not the limit. It's limitless. And then there's often licensing fees and minimums. We don't have any of that. And then that model is really geared towards recruiting people, right? So we teach attraction marketing. It's very different. So you're only having conversations with people who are coming to you, who are actually interested in what you have to offer. Very different methodology. So let's talk a little bit more about the quad and what that looks like. Let's break it down. We have figured out the best way for you to maximize your income right off the bat. You can actually earn money on your own sales to yourself. You start with an Anespa, you sell yourself a K8 and an Ukon, and then you sell yourself another K8. And when you do it that way, you get cash back of over $1,000 US on your first sales to yourself. So you're instantly creating money and cash flow. And then by 5 quad sales, if you go with the quad strategy, you've already made back your investment. And then from there, you're in pure profit. And remember, it's a one-time investment. So like, think about the other traditional business models, right? If you were going to start that franchise, you're going to pay maybe $150,000 for the licensing fee. And maybe you'll make profit in 3 to 5 years, maybe not. This is like you start making money immediately. And it's a very, very small investment compared to any traditional business. And you are setting yourself up with the potential to create lifelong income here. By 9 to 10 sales of quads, you're at the full 8 points of the commission plan, guys. Like how it just blows me away every time I present this, because, you know, I love that this is my life and that this is true and that I have this clear pathway to create wealth in my life. And then another 10 sales from there, and you've already made your first 100K. So 20 sales total, quad sales, and you're at 100K. Profit. I mean, where else can you find this? I've never seen anything else like this. So let's talk about the $1 million strategy right quick here. How do we make $1 million with this? Well, quite simply, to be honest, when you're at that 8 points of commission, after you've made that, like I said, what is it, 10 quad sales, you're at the 8 points of commission. Then from there, you make only 16 sales to make 100K, to have a 6-figure year, right? And you can see the scale here, right, yourself. And this doesn't even include, by the way, the bonuses and the commissions. If you do build your own tribe and you actually get to decide to empower other people with this model, you can get rewarded on their sales as well. And that's where you get the leverage to move more quickly. And so this isn't even including all of that. This is just you. If you sell 16 quads a year, you're making 6 figures. Okay, 16 quads total. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You can be on your own timeline because every sale you make is like a brick in the, I'll call it a temple. I'm going to build a temple here in Bali within the next year. Hopefully, I'm looking at land right now. So for me, I'm building a temple. Maybe it's the house you're building and whatever it is you want to call it, the castle, the cathedral, whatever you call it, that you're building. Every sale is a brick in that building that, right? So is this making sense? Drop it in the comments if this is making sense. I know I'm going really fast. There's a lot of numbers flying around here, and I can imagine you have a lot going on in your brain right now. So just drop it in the comments and let me know if this is all landing for you. And I'm going to keep going. So just look how easy this is. I mean, this is very simple. 41 sales, you get to 250K, okay? 82 sales, you get to 500K. 164 quad sales, you're making $1 million. So think about this. If you know anyone who's an influencer, by the way, we make way more money than the influencers on Instagram. If you meet somebody that has 100K following and they're not making money, which is very common, you can be like, hey, I have a strategy for you to turn your following into $1 million, because it's so simple, right? If somebody has 1 million followers, or even 100,000 followers, it's quite simple to hit these numbers. And we also teach you organic and traditional marketing method, like advertising, like Instagram advertising, Facebook advertising. Like, you're going to get full support to build this in whatever way feels aligned for you. So it's not far-fetched to actually reach these numbers. This is a little bit of a breakdown. I don't want to spend time going through all these numbers. Feel free to take a screenshot, but I just want to point out that to earn your 100K when you're at 8 points of the commission plan, it's only 1.3 sales a month and you're making $100,000 a year. I mean, is your mind blown right now? Because when I see these numbers, I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing that this exists and that we have access to it right now. You can start today and get yourself on this path. So now I'm going to hand it back to Christy to talk about the legacy income, because she is the queen of this.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Who is just so excited about this? You're never going to be able to unsee this again. So not only is all of what Magdalena has just shared incredible in terms of this company, in terms of this affiliate offer, but you get to a certain point where this is where they talk about generational wealth. So when I shared before that I became financially free at 31, what that means is I've reached a point in this company called 682-3, which means you receive an amazing bonus. So obviously I'm in Australia. This is what Magdalena has here is US dollars. So it's 25,000 US bonus, a $5,000 monthly bonus for life. This is on top of everything else. And we actually teach you how to have multiple legacy positions that you're building out all at one time, but you actually have 3 positions, which is really cool with this quad strategy. So basically, I was able to get to -3 within 2 years of this business. And, in Australia, that means for just that position, it's $7,500 monthly bonus for life. Now, we have a few legacy positions between my husband and I. And so we have a few -3, we have a -4, we have one that's about to literally go -5 anytime soon within the next couple of weeks. And okay, you can't see me speaking. All right, let me just make sure that you guys can actually see me. Hang on a sec, spotlight, cool. You should be able to see me now. Hello. Yes, so we have a couple of these, and basically the founder of this company, he really wanted to create something that was actually going to create real financial freedom for people, not where you get to a certain point and you still have to have this monthly quota or, all of these things. Like I met someone recently, I think they were in Herbalife. They were at the top of their company and they were literally receiving $30,000 per month at the top of their company. Now, to receive that, they had to still be meeting all of these quotas and all of these types of things. We're only just talking about a legacy bonus here, not on top of everything else. And you're going to get to know more of this in our next steps and in our next videos. So right now, if you're a bit like, okay, there's a lot of numbers, yeah, we get it. The point is we're sharing with you, really the power of high ticket sales and also a really true, legitimate business model that actually is set up and it has been designed with a 500-year vision, because it's a Japanese company, to actually support people to create true wealth, true passive income. and something that can be willable and handed down to your children, which is, absolutely incredible. So I'm very passionate about the legacy side of this and really supporting people to, to really achieve this within a couple of years. It could take you 5 years, could take you 7 years, who knows? That's going to come down to you. But I mean, if I've done it in 2 years, I'm like, why, I don't see why other people can't do that. And so it's really creating this whole new paradigm shift of how we actually get to create wealth and really transform our life in a very short amount of time. Cool. If you want to go to the next slide. Amazing. So let's talk a little bit about how you actually make these sales. And Magdalena's already shared a little bit about this, but what we do is we actually build a personal brand. Now, a personal brand literally is where we get to utilize our social media. We've all got Facebook, we've all got Instagram, and we get to go from being a consumer of these platforms to actually being a creator on these platforms and actually creating an income on these platforms. And as Magdalena said, we get paid far more than people who have like 1 million followers on their Instagram. There was a recent article that came out about this really top, influencer on Instagram. She had like 1 million followers and she couldn't even pay $2.5 grand for, something happened where she ended up and she needed bail and she couldn't even pay $2.5 grand to actually get herself out of that situation. It's like, you have all of these millions of followers and couldn't be able to do that. So we teach you how to build a personal brand where we literally give you the step-by-steps to leverage these platforms. So Facebook ads, Facebook organic, Instagram ads, Instagram organic, TikTok, and you really get to choose those 1 to 2 strategies to begin with that are going to align with you that you want to leverage and utilize. And we teach you how to build a brand, where people are actually coming to you. This isn't about just throwing up product photos, all the time on your social media. This is about actually creating real value and real strategies that actually work. And literally overnight, Tash, who is a beautiful woman in our community, she had no followers, nothing like that online. She literally came here a total beginner, and she now only has a couple of hundred, and yet, she was able to basically earn more than a full-time job within 6 months last year. Okay, so she came in, she followed the Facebook ad strategy step by step. She put up her first Facebook ads. People came to her, and from there she's able to then solve their problem and with the solution that we actually have. So we teach you how to really set up your social media to turn it into an actual personal brand. People then come and watch a free masterclass, like you're watching, and they basically then go through our next couple of videos and our next process, which is watching a few videos, having a clarity call to see if this is going to be something that aligns with you and your goals. If you've got a goal to create financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom over the next couple of years, you get to see how this actually can align for you to do that. And then we quite simply just help you to launch your business and get going. Okay, so we keep things really, 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 really simple. So as you can see here, Tash Tayak, who I was sharing about before, 332 followers, guys. Right, we're not talking about having millions of followers or anything like that. We're talking about, you can literally, as an everyday person, learn these steps and literally set yourself up and have people coming to you in your inbox. This isn't about cold DMing, spamming people, writing down your friends and family's names and reaching out to them. I didn't want anything to do with any of that. And when I learned about this strategy, I was like, hell yes. So this is what we really teach you to be able to do. Cool. Brooke March, as you just saw there, she's got 1,000 followers and she's literally about to reach legacy income within the next couple of weeks, right? So yes, this is really designed for wherever you're at, whether you're a beginner or whatever. This is designed for, everyday people to really thrive. So anyone is capable of creating success. Gabby was a burnt out single mum hustling to make ends meet with no real time freedom and is now earning high profit commissions and traveling freely with her son and is well on the way to creating a legacy. Rebecca is, came from hustling in low ticket network marketing. She's a very, very different friend of mine and was receiving low commission sales. So she really was never earning more than $10,000 a month, but to actually receive the $10,000 a month, she had to go to event after event after event, meet people, sell them her shakes, sell them the products, cold DM people. That was the strategy. Now she's earning more in a month than what it would take her 2 years in a previous network marketing company and really living life fully embodied in her own vision and supporting other women to do the same. Okay, so really from here, what the next steps are going to be is you're going to reach out now to the person who invited you here today and say, I'm excited. I'm ready to jump on a call, right? You're not getting your credit card out today. Don't worry, put your credit card away. This isn't about you guys actually purchasing. This is about you guys having a call to actually, in the next steps, to actually really see if this is aligned for you. So you're going to reach out in a moment, sweetheart. In a moment. Just got my little ones that have just come down. In a sec, sweetheart. So you're going to reach out to the person who invited you here, and they are going to give you a link to watch the next videos and book in your call. My little cuties. And you are also going to find out on that call how you, by getting started, right, within a certain time frame, you're actually going to be able to get access to this legacy mentorship, which is the people that are teaching in this legacy mentorship are teaching you from a place that we have all built legacy businesses, and we're teaching you exactly what to do to actually do this within a couple of years. Okay, so you're going to learn from myself and Clint, from Brooke, from Balaj. So Balaj is our mentor. And so this mentorship alone is worth over $5,000, and you're basically going to be receiving this for free just by really getting started with this product and this business model. So I'm going to hand back to Magdalena now for any final words, and she'll tell you a little bit about the books that you're going to receive as well if you book your call in now within the next 24 hours. It's been such a pleasure to be on here today. I love sharing this. This is what I live and breathe by: freedom and impact, and really supporting people to see this like I did 5.5 years ago. And that was really my saving grace, and has been many other people's saving grace as well.
Thank you so much, Christy. It's so fun doing this with you and turning people onto this. And yeah, so for those of you who are trying to get yourself to the right side of that cash flow quadrant and you got to be the action taker, right? So for those of you who take fast action, so you book your call within the next 24 hours, you're going to receive these 2 life-changing books, which these 2 books right here were what helped me heal my scarcity mindset. So when I started in this space, I had been raised with a scarcity mindset. You know, I have the memory of being 7 years old and in the kitchen and my mom saying, oh, there's not enough for everybody, pouring the apple juice into the glasses. And I got my program right there. I've done the inner work to discover that moment of where I got the scarcity program, right? And thanks to these books, I've done the personal growth and the inner work to create the change and to heal my scarcity mindset. And now I live in full abundance all the time. So that's the magic, which is an inner practice about gratitude, which shifts your frequency so that you can align with the ever-flowing stream of abundance, ever-flowing stream of abundance that's always there. And how do you get into that? The magic is how you get into that. And then to help you deprogram and reprogram yourself, You Are a Badass at Making Money is an absolute game changer. So treat both of these like a workbook, and this alone is an incredible bonus. So that's just for scheduling your call. You're going to get these, and then you'll get a couple more videos that will explain more to you about the numbers and the nuts and bolts and the products and all our gold, award-winning, awards we've won and everything, like give you more of the kind of due diligence that you'll need in order to make a decision if this is for you or not. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for being here. It is such an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you and to be introducing you to this. And like, I did a story on my Instagram yesterday, and I just, it's really from my heart. And I say, like, I feel so grateful that I get to share this with people, because for me, all the freedoms are amazing, right? The time freedom, the location freedom, the financial freedom, and the inner freedom, because I really feel embodied and I love what I do. I really embody the total freedom lifestyle. But my favorite part about this is making an impact in other people's lives and getting to be the bridge for where you are in your life right now. If you are in a place where you're not exactly where you want to be, right? You're not embodying all the freedoms, but you want to. I've got the pathway for you right here. I'm handing it to you on a silver platter. This is a business in a box you can plug into immediately, hit the ground running, and start immediately. You've got all the support you need. Remember, we're handing you the vehicle. We're offering you the vehicle that includes all those freedoms. And it's just up to you to get in and start driving, right? And the impact that I get to make in your life, to be in this position to create this impact, is, for me, it's everything. I'm a yogi. I have a heart of service. I see this as a service-based business. Yes, we do have products involved, which means that it's not a pyramid scheme, by the way, for anybody that wants to be like, oh, pyramid scheme. No, it's not a pyramid scheme, because pyramid schemes do not involve an actual product. We have an actual product. And this is also not one of those pyramids where the people at the top make all the money and the people at the bottom feed them. It's not like that. You can supersede the person who brings you in. That doesn't happen in pyramids. So this is an over and down model, much like a franchise. So You get to create your own tribe, which I highly recommend. You can do this on your own. You can make all those direct sales on your own, or you can actually step into leadership and learn how to become a mentor and learn this all yourself first, do all the foundational training that we offer you. And then you can also begin to lead others and step into leadership and be that one that creates impact in other people's lives, which is for me, the most fulfilling thing I can do with my time, right? And then I still have my time to do my own personal practice. I take 2 hours a day to go to the sunset and have mermaid time, because that's what I choose to do. I have my yoga time in the morning. Whatever it is that's important to you to have more time for, you get to do that, because this is a freedom business that you do on your own timeline, and you have time for the things that are important to you that make life worth living, so that you can also have that inner freedom. So I hope that's landing with all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your presence, and I look forward to seeing you inside the community. Blessings to all of you.